Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. Hope you guys are doing well out there, because you know what? Another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. We got some serious breaking news. This is insane. I'm just going to be completely real with y'all. This is absolutely crazy. And something I've been wanting to know. Something I've been wanting to know may actually be answered here in just a few minutes. We got some new stuff that's going on, and this is crazy. You see the title up above, down below, wherever you're watching this show right here. So make sure you get on in here, because this is nuts, okay? Please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Come on in here, guys. Get on in here. We got some things to talk about, all right? So hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. That would be amazing. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button, please. And thank you. Don't forget, if you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, hit that follow button over there. Okay. Hit that subscribe button here on my main channel. Go over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there. Make sure the notification bell is set to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because a lot of times it is random and a lot of times it's breaking news stuff. But something just broke and we have got to talk about it. And yes, it revolves around Jay-Z stuff. So we have got to talk about this. So get your butts in here. Don't worry. I'll wait a tiny bit before we get into the meat and potatoes of everything, okay? But hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, don't forget to check out PascalMerch.com. Okay? All right, guys. We got to get straight into this. But, again, like I said, this is some crazy stuff. And, again, this is a huge piece of information. All right. If you guys have been living in a cave, living under a rock, okay, it is very interesting what's going on here. Okay, for lack of a better term, there has been some new updates. And what's interesting, one thing that's very interesting is, I don't know if my stuff is getting, like, the Jay-Z stuff is getting suppressed, or even the Diddy stuff is getting suppressed. I don't know, okay? One thing is for sure, we are keeping an eye and keeping watch on everything, all movement that is going on revolving around this situation. And the stuff is pretty insane, okay? Now, when it comes to this, just make sure, like I keep saying, make sure that notification bell is set to all. If you aren't getting notifications, turn it off. Turn it back on, okay? Because again, we're only a few months away, all right? We're in March. We are marching into the middle of March right now as we speak, okay? There's going to be a lot of stuff coming up in May. And so there's going to be a lot of coverage, a lot of conversation, and all that stuff. So make sure that notification bell is on. Turn it off, turn it back on, set it to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because a lot of it's very random, but a lot of this is some stuff that is just absolutely crazy, okay? So just be sure to be on that, all right? But here's the thing. As you guys already know, Jay-Z was accused by a woman saying that she was a victim of Jay-Z and Diddy, okay? She went to an after party, a VMAs after party in 2000. She said that she was viciously attacked by Diddy and Jay-Z, and that there was a third person in the room watching, a female. In the documents, they say female celebrity B. Okay, we do not know who that person is, and possibly it doesn't matter. But then as time goes on, there's been a lot of really crazy stuff that's been coming out as of late. All right. we have seen very interesting back and forths between Tony Busby, the lawyer that's representing this Jane Doe, and of course, Jay-Z and his lawyer, Alex Spiro. Now, we saw Alex Spiro did a whole PowerPoint presentation with a Jumbotron, basically with animations and everything, basically saying, hey, look, guys, there's no way that Jay-Z could have been in the same place at the same time as this woman. Then he also says, hey, she said that she was in the car in a limo and was driven out to this place 20 minutes from where the event, the VMAs was. She's like, he said, hey, in 20 minutes, in a 20-minute radius, there's nothing in the area that would even remotely match the house that she's talking about, right? So it's been very, very interesting, the stuff that's been out here. But then we jump forward, okay? I'm just doing broad strokes here, right? She drops the lawsuit. And of course, all of us are sitting there going, well, okay, so, some people are like, okay, Jay-Z paid her off. Some others are like, whoa, wait a second. What happened here? Does it mean that she lied? What's up with this, right? And I think a lot of us have every right to want to know exactly what happened here. Now we're hearing different things. Jay-Z says, hey, she admits to lying. That's why she dropped it. So now I'm just going to sue the pants off of Tony Busby, and that's about it, right? Now the court of public opinion can get off his case and realize that she was lying. But then we saw something a couple weeks ago, or about a week ago, all right, or last week. We saw her come out basically saying, hey, everything's the truth. I'm not lying. I dropped the case because I was scared. I dropped the lawsuit because I was scared, because I was getting approached by private investigators. I felt intimidated. I felt scared and all that. And that's why I dropped the lawsuit. Now, here's the thing. I have been hopping on both sides of the fence like crazy. 1 minute I'm sitting there going, oh, she's not telling the truth. There's inconsistencies in her story. Then I hop on the other side and I'm like, well, maybe she is telling the truth, and maybe she is intimidated by these private investigators showing up. One thing is for sure, Jay-Z is admitting, and his team is admitting, of using private investigators to try to get in touch with this woman. It's been absolutely crazy, for lack of a better term. It has been absolutely, well, I'll just say it's been nook and foots. I think we can all agree on that. It's been pretty wild. And again, it's like, who do we believe? Is this the truth? Is she lying? Is Jay-Z's team lying? Because let's be real, he'll do whatever it takes, I'm sure, to exonerate himself, to distance himself from the situation, whether he was innocent or not. Let's be real. But these private investigators were showing up to people's homes way before they even found out or went over to this Jane Doe's home. Let's be real. They were going over and knocking on TikTok content creators, YouTube creators' homes, basically saying, hey, if we were to give you some money, would you change your narrative about Diddy and everything that's going on? You're hearing that. You've heard that in video, which is absolutely crazy to me, okay? So now this woman is basically saying, this Jane Doe is basically saying, hey, or what we talked about last week, hey, he and his team are intimidating the hell out of me. I got scared. They threatened me. So I dropped the lawsuit. So of course I leave to you guys. What say you on that thought? What say you on that situation? Okay. Because again, it's so weird, right? It's just so weird with this whole situation. But now there are new things that are popping off. And it just gets weird. It's getting weirder and weirder, okay? It's getting more and more complicated, all right? So we got to take a look at this. And don't worry, everybody who's coming in, well, I'll try to repeat some of this in a little while. And also a little bit of a left turn, but There are some updates revolving around the Sudiksha Kunanki, okay, case, all right, that I just put up about an hour and a half or so ago. So please go check it out. There's some new updates, it's a major update revolving around that case, which it's about doggone time, in my personal opinion, but go check it out when you get done with this, okay? But here it is. Woman who accused Jay-Z of R is heard on a recording saying lawyer pushed her to sue. Now, here's the thing. Remember, we went through the paperwork. We talked about it. I even said to myself, I said, do they actually have any proof of her saying these things? Sure, you have these private investigators saying, oh, yeah, we went up to her place. We had a conversation. We chopped it up. Whoop-de-woo. But I'm like, okay, anybody can write something well, if they're willing and wanting to commit perjury, they can write anything they want on legal paper, in legal documents. They can say whatever the hell they want. Yeah, we were there, and then, we talked to her, and then, she said this whole thing was a lie, and that she made this whole thing up. Anybody can write that stuff down if they're willing to catch a charge, right? Because these are legal pages. These are legal documents. But again, I even said myself, do they have recordings of this? Do they actually have recording of her actually saying this? Real talk, do they have footage or recording of her saying, yes, I lied. This whole thing's a fabrication. Jay-Z did nothing to me. And so on. He made, Tony Busby made me do it. Right? I'm still waiting for that. Until today. Allegedly, this is what happened. Actually, let me see. Do I still have that paperwork? Let's see. Hold on. Do I still have that paperwork, baby? Hold on. Because I want us to look at the documents here, too, real quick. Okay? Hold on. Let me see. Is it this one? Da-da-da-da. Well, it's two different documents, but let me show you this one first. All right? Because we got to look at the receipts, too. All right? We still got to look at the receipts. Rook, real quick, thank you so much for being a member for the past 18 months. Gang, gang. Thank you so much. Good morning, Pascal and family. Good morning to you too, Rook. Hope you're doing well, mine. Hope you're staying blessed. Rainy day. Hello, love. Thank you so much for the love. Appreciate it. Good morning, Pascal. Mother lover. Yeah. Mother lover, when you say that, that's diabolical. Indeed. Mother lover. I need a shirt that just says, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do it. It's going to be a shirt that just says mother lover. Just because. Just because. It's like, why? Just because. Just because. That's all. There's no reason behind it. Don't ask why. It just looks cool. And I rock this ish every single day. Thank you. Moving on, though. Let's take a look at this real quick, okay? So they went along with another investigator, this woman, Charlotte Henderson, okay? They met with Miss Doe on the front porch of her home in Alabama. Miss Doe confirmed that she was, in fact, the Jane Doe in the lawsuit. Miss Doe, Mr. Butler, and I were the only people present. Remember, I said, okay, so if it's you, me, and Dupree, I'm sorry, that was bad. Wow. Oh, wow. If it's you, me, and the trees, I would hope that you are recording this. But also, are you recording this unbeknownst to her? And then it's, what is the law behind recording a person without them knowing, right? Is it illegal? Does it still stand in court in that state of Alabama, wherever this recording was taken care of, taken, you know what I mean? So instantly I go, can they use that recording in court? Could they really use this? Or is there a third party, like a law, okay, within this, okay? Lots of states are one-part consent. Yes, yes, they are. Or one-party consent. Yes, you're right. You're right. So that's one thing I instantly wonder: is this a situation where she didn't know at all that they were recording? They may have been like, just so you know, we are recording this conversation. Okay, and then started talking. Right. So that's possible. But anyway, it's those three together: two investigators and Jane Doe. Okay. Throughout our discussion, Miss Doe appeared calm and at ease. She maintained a natural demeanor and engaged in conversation freely. Miss Doe's body language, including her nodding, relaxed posture, and steady tone of voice, reinforced that she did not feel scared or intimidated during our interaction. Again, it can have a lasting impression later on. She may have been fine in person, but later on, she might have been freaking the F out after they left. That's possible too. You have to put that in consideration, okay? At no point during our interaction did Miss Doe request to be left alone. During our conversation, she told me, among other things, the following facts. She saw an advertisement for those of you over the pond, across the pond, an advertisement on FB, Facebook, for the Ava law firm, okay, concerning Sean Combs. Now, we may be talking about Ava law firm here in just a little while, because allegedly this is how they were able to wrangle over multiple thousands of phone calls. And it wasn't just Tony Busby. That's the other thing I'm understanding now too. Okay. Now we're understanding that the 1-800 number that they created was not done by Tony Busby. It was actually created by Ava Law Group. And they're the ones who were really the 1-800 lawyer, not Tony Busby. Tony Busby picked up Jane Doe's case, but he's not the one who created and concocted and put together this 1-800 number. Just so you guys know. And this is all revolving around Diddy, right? Remember him? Remember him? Moving on. Ava Group referred her to defendant Tony Busby and his law firm. Miss Doe and Mr. Busby, Miss Doe met Mr. Busby for the first time in Houston. He paid to fly her there. The meeting to discuss the case took place when she flew out for an interview that Busby arranged for Miss Doe to give to NBC News in Mr. Busby's office. So she flew out there. Okay. All right. She flew out there. They sat down. They had a conversation with NBC News. And he was the one who set up the whole interview thing that we all saw, that we've all seen. Okay, the inconsistencies in her story, the conversation with the dad, basically saying her father, who basically said, "Hey, I don't remember doing that." Picking her up, driving several hours, almost 6 hours to go get her, and 6 hours back. If that was to be true, I definitely remember that. Okay, we learned a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of side eyeing and a lot of questions revolving around this situation for sure. Okay, but moving on. Jane Doe stated that Mr. Carter, Jay-Z, did not SA her. Jane Doe stated to me that she originally told Busby that she had been attacked by Diddy. This is what she said: attacked by Diddy, and a world-renowned female celebrity was also present for the attack. And that Busby suggested that she claim Jay-Z was the other monster in the room doing this stuff with Diddy. Jane Doe stated Busby brought Jay-Z into it, and he was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him, with Jay-Z. I gotta hit the button. And I will say this: Loving Mothers is not diabolical. I read that comment. Okay, Rainy Day, it's not diabolical. Okay. Keep loving. You mother lovers out there, you keep loving those mother lovers. Mother lovers. Yeah. What I just said. Moving on. Because mother lovers need mother love and love mother lovers. Right? But moving on. Jane Doe said that Mr. Busby asked her if Mr. Carter, JC, had been at the party. Miss Doe told Mr. Busby that Jay-Z was at the party, but she told me that Jay-Z did not take part in any SA of Miss Doe. We read this like last week, guys. We read this stuff last week. Jane Doe confirmed the following regarding Jay-Z during our interview. Here it is. Jay-Z had nothing to do with this, correct? Right. Other than he was at the party that you were at. So, I mean, he did not attack you. No. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any acts towards you. Yeah. Jane Doe said to me that lawyers at Busby's law firm told her that if she pursued Jay-Z, she would get a payout. Jane Doe said to me that shortly before Mr. Busby dismissed the lawsuit against Jay-Z, Busby told Jane Doe that Mr. Carter, Jay-Z, was threatening to unalive her in response to her lawsuit and could come after her. Upon hearing that, Jane Doe agreed to drop her case. So she says, I'm scared. I am absolutely terrified because Mr. Busby told me that Jay-Z is coming after me and he's threatening to unalive me. So, of course, she goes, no, shoot, man. I like my life. I love breathing in this freedom air. So, yeah. Another day above the dirt is always a blessing. So let's just drop this, right? So she's saying Tony Busby came to her and said this. One thing I'm wondering is the timeline in which he came to her and said, hey, he's threatening to take your life. We need to drop this. And she took what he said at face value and understandably, allegedly, and said, hey, I need to drop this. I'm wondering when that happened. Did it happen because this was happening around the same time that Tony Busby was also getting destroyed? Jay-Z was going after Tony Busby too. Did Tony Busby bend the knee, like crumble while he was getting attacked and all the lawsuits that were coming after him as well? Did he suddenly go, actually, we need to drop this lawsuit because he's now trying to sue me and that could be a lot of money and I could lose? You got to remember too, at the end of the day, if any of this stuff is not true, these lawyers are losing their jobs. Tony Busby will lose his license to, he will never be able to work as a lawyer ever again. Same thing with Alex Spiro. If any of this stuff comes out as fake news, fabricated crap, these two lawyers are screwed. Their law firms are destroyed. Their reputations as well. Absolutely nuked, y'all. This is crazy, guys. So Miss Doe stated 4 different times, that Jay-Z did not attack her. After Miss Doe had voluntarily and consistently affirmed this, we inquired whether she would be open to signing an affidavit reflecting what she had told us. She responded by saying, but how does that help me? Interesting. Now, just real quick, because we're going to get to the meat and potatoes, I promise. We are definitely going to the meat and potatoes, but I do want to make sure, because again, even when we went through this conversation last week, I even said, is this recorded? Is this recorded? Where's the recordings of this? Because anyone could, I could write this. Tyler Perry could write this. It would probably have, some wilder things going on. Somebody would probably drop their pants and then, you know what I mean? One of the people would be shirtless and, it'd be weird. But moving on, okay? Anybody could write this. Real talk. But is it recorded? Anyone can fabricate a conversation between A and B, between John Doe, a Jane Doe, and a private investigator. Anyone can do that. So, of course, I'm going, is there recording? And now they're saying that there is, which is wild. But again, what I really do want to know, because I know some of you guys are like, oh, yeah, that's a good question, Pascal. Good point, Dolores. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can be smart sometimes. Okay. It's so a blessing being this smart. You know what I mean? It's heavy as the head that lies the crown, or whatever the saying is. But anyway, just saying, okay, just kidding. But real talk, I'm a genius. No, I'm just kidding. But again, it still makes you wonder the timeline in which, if these allegations are true, because let's not forget, this Jane Doe has a history, allegedly, from another private investigator of just being a pathological liar, an incessant, habitual liar. Okay? So she could be making this part up too, saying, yeah, Tony Busby's the one who told me to do this. Tony Busby's the one who said, Jay-Z's coming after me. He's going to unalive me. That's why I dropped the case. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Tony Busby was the one who said that. So you got to put that on the table too. But I also am curious is if Tony Busby was getting sued so much that he started freaking out and maybe turned to his client and said, you know what's going to be better if I said, you know what, let me just, we going to flip it. And we're going to say it in a way that will make her drop the case. It won't be me telling her to drop the case. It'll be her. It'll be on her. Because optically, if I tell her to drop the case, then it shows that I screwed up. But if she drops the case, it shows that she screwed up, not me. See what I'm saying? So I keep asking, when did this conversation happen? Was it after all these former clients were going after him, trying to sue him for, I guess, bad work, I guess, from these former clients and stuff? I'm just wondering what the timeline is, because it doesn't make any sense. Now, really quick, I do want to remind you of all the stuff, not all of it, but just some of them, of the things that we learned. And this is from another private investigator named Ian. We'll just go by his first name for right now. Take a look at this. This is information that they received just by simply going into the internet. So they went into the Googles, went right into the Googles and found out a whole lot of stuff on this Jane Doe. And of course, publicly available records, and they found out a whole bunch of stuff. She has legally documented. She has a legally documented history of mental health issues. Her parents have custody over her son. She lost custody over her daughter because an Alabama court determined that Jane Doe has engaged in a series of activities both before and after this child's birth that the court found to be inconsistent with someone demonstrating good mental health. Now, God knows what that was. And you never know. She could have been doing all kinds of substances even while the baby was, even while she was pregnant. Imagine that. According to the court in that case, Jane Doe has a history of bipolar disorder, so BP, BPD, okay, borderline personality disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, and psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, N-E-S, right? Jane Doe's doctor gave a deposition in the case. The doctor went out of his way to show up into court and give a transcript of which is a transcript that is which is publicly available, in which the doctor stated that Jane Doe has a history of auditory hallucinations, which means she hears things. She hears voices that other people don't hear, which, by the way, I go, isn't that a sign of schizophrenia possibly? How is she not diagnosed with schizophrenia is beyond me. But moving on, she was put in a mental health facility less than 90 days before the defendant in this case sent their demand letter. She has recently been under the care of a psychologist. This is all stuff and then some. Regularly posting things on social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, about the difficulties she's having living with her conditions. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what I'm talking about, guys. More and more information out here. Now, again, history of not the greatest history, okay? Not the greatest history. And then she goes and she calls up the Ava Law Group's 1-800 number, and then she gets hooked up with Tony Busby. At the end of the day, what Tony Busby did wrong, or how he screwed up in this situation, is that he, I'm sure, did not properly vet this particular woman. Now, again, this is just a brief recap of the conversation that we had last week when this stuff dropped then. Now we got new information, which again is absolutely crazy. We got to get back to this piece right here. Okay. So the woman, that conversation that we just saw in the first private investigator report in their legal documents, they now have a recording. It was indeed recorded. Okay. And that is what's very, very interesting. Right now, again, Ebony, I want you to know that's not medical records. Those are all transcripts from court. So if it's in a situation where they're doing when they're doing a deposition, when they're doing their testimony, all that stuff is written. That's all transcripts. So it's not like they're going and getting her medical records and putting it out there. These are all due to situations in which she has had a run-in with the law. Okay, she has failed substance tests. She has lost her children. Her psychologist who went and testified, did a deposition about her mental health. All of it was put in transcripts. You see what I'm saying? So again, that is just very interesting. Nonetheless, okay? And if they did it illegally, then they did it legally, and that would be interesting as well. And that would be a problem for Jay-Z and, of course, Jay-Z's team, right? But nonetheless, that's information that's out here. And there is a possibility, there is a strong possibility that they got the wrong girl. But I doubt it. I really, really doubt it, okay? Now, again, is she lying? Is she telling the truth? I leave that up to you guys. I keep on teetering back and forth because there's just so much information. Okay. And just because somebody has mental health issues does not automatically mean that a crime was not committed. A crime did not occur. Okay. But again, the history is very telling, right? And gives, I'm sure, a lot of people a lot of pause. But now they have it recorded. I'm telling you guys. And you know what? I got questions about the recording. We're going to hear a little bit of it. It's not, they didn't give us the whole thing, which is trash, but we do get a little bit of it in this video that we're going to look at very, very shortly. And it tells to me, sums up. We're going to analyze and talk about that like crazy here in just a second. But let's take a look at this article here, okay? The woman who said she was, a little when this whole thing happened with Jay-Z and Diddy, okay, is heard on a recording agreeing, Jay-Z did not attack her and saying her lawyer pushed her to sue Jay-Z. The woman's lawsuit against Jay-Z and Combs has since been withdrawn with prejudice, which means, of course, it cannot be revived. It is gone dead in the water. Okay? Dead in the water. All right? So the recording, an excerpt of which is obtained by ABC News, is between the woman, identified as Jane Doe, and two private investigators associated with Carter. Again, private investigators, it is a real thing. And now we know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, Jay-Z has a whole lot to do with that. Okay, with those private investigators. We don't even need to wonder and ask, what's going on here? Nope, they are working for Jay-Z for sure. Okay, he was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any S acts towards you. This is what the private investigator asked. Exactly what was written in the documents that we just previously read. She replies, Jane Doe replies, yeah. So again, that's why I'm like, clearly they must have written out verbatim what was recorded, because there would be no way for her to remember exactly what that private investigator. There's no way for this private investigator to remember exactly verbatim what she asked. You see what I'm saying? And then she asked the question. So clearly, she knows because she recorded the whole doggone thing. Okay? So Alex Spiros denies that Jay-Z has ever met Jane Doe. In the recording, the woman is heard telling the investigators that her lawyer, Tony Busby, put her up to suing Jay-Z. He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him, with Jay-Z. This is what the woman is heard saying. Busby did? The investigator asked. Yeah, the woman replied. Busby called the idea that he pushed her into suing Jay-Z a blatant lie. As far as the suggestion that I pushed Jane Doe to bring a case against Jay-Z, that's a blatant lie. That is directly contrary to all the documentary evidence. This is what Busby said in a statement provided to ABC News. Let's say that again. He says, as far as the suggestion that I pushed Jane Doe to bring a case against Jay-Z, that is a blatant lie. That is directly contrary to all the documentary evidence. Now, let me just say this really quick. This is insane. I'm sorry, I got to hit the button again. And I got to wet the beak. So now it's almost as if you have Busby almost turning his back on his own Jane Doe, like on his own client? Huh? Because if they really did interview the right Jane Doe, and that Jane Doe is saying, hey, yeah, he made me do it. Now you're hearing Tony Busby basically saying, no, that's a blatant lie. So could he be calling his own Jane Doe, his own client, a liar? Think about that for a second, guys. Could he be calling his own client a mother-loving liar? And if he is, he needs to not... Good thing that this lawsuit has been dropped, because I'd be like, I cannot represent you anymore. Look, if it's been recorded, if this thing is recorded, okay? Him saying that is a blatant lie that is directly contrary to all the documentary evidence. Is he literally calling her a liar? Because she just lied on him. Excuse me. She just lied on him. And now he's sitting there going, no, the hell are you talking about? That's a lie. Interesting, right? Let's continue on. Carter's attorney said the tape speaks for itself. And I'm going to be real. I am so sorry. So sorry. But if it's recorded and if it is really this woman that's in the recording being interviewed and all that, yeah, That kind of speaks for itself, don't you think? And I know for a lot of people, you're gonna be mad for me saying that. Okay, for a lot of y'all who believe her, and I'm not sitting here saying that you don't have a right to believe her. Believe her all you want, baby. Okay, but at the same time, if it's on recording and it's recorded and she's saying these things, that's bad. But I also will say, yeah, I was just about to say that, Miss 86. Okay, are you from Great Britain? That's lovely. Yes. But I would really, really hope that they have this on video. I'm going to keep it real because there's a possibility that they could be in her face and she's like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll tell you whatever you want. I'll say whatever you want. I need the full unedited audio. And if there's video, I want to see the unedited video without her looking like she's under some sort of stress. You see what I'm saying? But again, that's us trying to move mountains, trying to move that goalpost. But we'll see what's going on because that's very, very interesting. But I'd love to see the video if there's video. Okay, but his attorney, Jay-Z's attorney, is basically saying, hey, the tape speaks for itself. And if she really is saying that, yeah, Tony Busby made me do it, that's not good. That's really not good, guys. Regardless of what side you are on, if you are team she's a liar or team she is a victim and she deserves to get justice, this is not good, especially now when you have the lawyer himself going, what is that? What? That's a blatant lie. The hell you talking about? That is a lie. Interesting. Continuing, this is what Jay-Z's attorney says. She says, in no uncertain terms, Jay-Z did not do this. She says, in no uncertain terms, Jay-Z did not do this. It's effectively a lie. And the only reason Jay-Z is even involved in this is because she was pushed to involve him. Now, I want to point something out really quick. Not once does she say that the attack didn't happen. The only thing we're hearing right now is that Jay-Z's not involved. Think about that for a second. The crime could have still happened to her, but Jay-Z is not involved now. That's interesting, right? But let's continue on. I think that's very thought-provoking. Jane D, like Jay-Z. Jane Doe has said in a sworn declaration, she stands by her claims and dropped her lawsuit because, quote unquote, of fear of intimidation and retaliation from Jay-Z and his fans. She also denied telling the investigators Busby sought her out as a client or that he encouraged her to pursue a false claim against Jay-Z. She said she felt intimidated and terrified at being confronted on her doorstep and that the investigators knew her name and address. Now, remember, you got these two people coming up, bing bong. You open up the door. Hi, how you doing? We're private investigators for a company. We wanted to know, are you Jane Doe? Yes, I am. So, and then just asking her all these questions right there on her front doorstep. Hell yeah, that's scary. Who wouldn't be scared about that? Who wouldn't be intimidated and terrified? I would be like, the dude doing in my home. Man, I'm still in my whitey tighties. What are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? That's terrifying, guys. I don't care. It doesn't matter if you have mental health issues or not. That is a terrifying situation. You open up your front door and there's just some random people there. How you doing? That's scary, y'all. I'm sorry. I can see that being extremely intimidating. All right. Spiro said the investigators who approached Jane Doe did not coerce or threaten her. She voluntarily met, spoke to them, and she told them her truth, which was under no circumstances did Jay-Z do this. or which was under no circumstances did Jay-Z do this. Okay, that makes sense now. But that's very interesting, right? All right. So again, let's see, blah, blah, blah. This is impacting the Carter family. It's tough to hear a false lie. It's tough to hear a false lie said about you spread through the internet and affecting your children. This is what Spiro said. It's tough on him. It's tough on anybody. But what he does is he proves himself innocent. Today is hopefully the final chapter in that. And then they're going to move forward. That's what Jay does. Now, we got the video. We're going to take a look at this video because there is audio in the video itself as well. We got to take a look at this. This is crazy, guys. This is absolutely crazy. And again, you know, we got a lot to talk about, okay? And yes, I agree. It is Tane. I'm just going to say stilettos. I'm sorry. I don't mean to mess up your first name. But stilettos, I agree. Okay. I think he's doing everything he can to clean this mug up. But at the same time, you got to understand, you can say that for both sides of the spectrum, right? If he's on the guilty side, he's trying to clean this up. If he's innocent, that he's doing everything he can to clean this up as well. Because again, this is like walking around with that scarlet letter branded on your forehead. Real talk. He can't escape this now, because now everybody is looking at this. I'm telling you, whether he is guilty, whether he did this or not, now this is branded to his body. Everywhere he goes now, forever, there will always be some sort of speculation, some sort of urban legend of some sort. Even if he gets completely exonerated, even with this situation, if she was to step out and say, this is all, I lied, my bad, and all that stuff, it would, you know what I mean? People would still be like, yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Well, what I know is, you know what I mean? And that's what's so sad about this situation too. Now, if he is guilty and he did do this, may it stay on him forevermore, right? And may justice be rightfully served. But if he's innocent, he has nothing to do with this. This is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. But let's take a look at this real quick. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. That'd be greatly appreciated. Crush that like button down below. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. All right. We got some things to talk about. We got some things to take a look at. So let's rock and freaking roll.
With Jay-Z's attorney, as the hip-hop superstar is now suing a woman for defamation, saying she falsely accused him of assault. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersi spoke with him. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. The woman who accused Jay-Z of sexual assault has already dropped her lawsuit. But now, for the first time, you're going to hear the story behind the bombshell accusation that has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z's lawyer says it should put to rest any doubt about his innocence. This morning, the woman who sexually assaulted her after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards.
Sorry, guys. Internet just kind of went blue for a second there. Hopefully you guys can see me. I'm going to roll that back a little bit. Hit the number 1. Make sure you guys can see me. Hi. Hi. Can you see me? Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can see me. Okay, thank you. Cool. Yeah, the internet just kind of just kind of lost its mind. I'm going to roll that back. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, I was like doing this weird stuff in the frozen face. Okay. And why? I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. This reporter, he kind of looks like the human version of like a penguin. You don't see the penguin? I don't know. It's weird. I'm a weird person. Sorry. Okay. But yeah, he kind of looks like if they were to do a human version of a penguin, like the face, the head. You know what I mean? Like the head. he kind of just see how he talks. Like, look how he talks. He's got this top between the nose and his top lip. He's got like, it's very long. You know what I mean? It's very, very long. Look.
Been withdrawn. Jay-Z's lawyer says it should put to rest any doubt about his innocence.
I know that's very random, but no one sees the penguin. Okay. Or it should be a beak. I don't know. I'm sorry. Let's get into this. Let's just go. I'm sorry.
This morning, the woman who said she was 13 when Sean Jay-Z Carter and Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted her after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards is heard talking to private investigators about her claim and agreeing that Jay-Z did not assault her.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there.
He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is also heard...
I'm sorry. I'm rolling that back. We need to listen to that one more again.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there.
He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is...
Yeah. Interesting. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. The ADHD was just blasting earlier. I'm just a second ago. I'm sorry. But I'm rolling that back one more time. Okay? Because that's insane. Yeah, the dogs are barking in the recording and all that. But again, that doesn't change the fact that she says what she says here. But also, you got to keep in mind, yes, you're right. She does have mental health issues. Let's not forget that too. She has a history of that. And so I don't know. You have to put all that into consideration. Like I said, this is just a wild situation. But I'm going to roll it one more time for everybody because there's more later on. But it's interesting to hear her voice. Interesting to hear the interaction between these the private investigators and this particular Jane Doe. It sounds a lot like the Jane Doe that is in the interview. It does sound like her. I could see other people going, well, that ain't her. No, it's definitely, that sounds exactly like her. You know what I mean?
He did not assault her.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there.
He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
Okay. One other thing. Also, by the way, she says he was there, but he has nothing to do with any of the acts that happened. He was there, but he didn't do anything. Let's not forget that. So he either was in the room and saw things and did nothing, or he was just at the party doing his thing, and and Diddy did his thing. You got to remember, she's not sitting here saying that the attack did not happen. The attack she says the attack still happened, but she's just saying that he was not involved in any of the crime. That's a big deal too, guys. Okay? That's a big freaking deal. Let's continue. So again, what happened to her still could have happened. Just Jay-Z may not be a part of the story.
The woman is also heard saying her lawyer put her up to suing one of the world's most recognizable stars.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him.
With Jay-Z. Busby did?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
I'm sorry. We got to roll that back. We got to listen to that. That's wild. So now that's why I'm like, damn, you got Tony Busby out here now being like, man, that's a blatant lie. You see what I'm saying? And now it's like it's a he said, she said, or she said, he said situation now, which is insane. Okay? That's insane. Like, that's insane. Do you understand? If Tony Busby was insane enough to do something like that, to literally go up to his client and say, hey, listen, you really want to make a bag? Let's make a bag together. Just add Jay-Z into the mix. Just throw his name, just toss his name into the mix, and let's just see how much money we can get out of him. Also, the other question I ask in my mind is, why pick out Jay-Z then? Why say Jay-Z? There's plenty of other stars that were around in 2000. Why Jay-Z? Is it only because he's got bags? Is there some strange animosity towards Jay-Z that they suddenly say, let's use Jay-Z? You know what I mean? Like I said, erring on the side of, if Tony Busby was the one saying, hey, sweetheart, come on, sit down. Okay, we know that you're talking about Diddy. But let's just throw in Jay-Z in there. Let's make a couple bags. You want to make some bags? I know I want to make some bags. You want to make some bags? Let's throw in Jay-Z. What you say? That sound good enough for you? That just sounds insane to me. Am I the only one who is thinking that? That's insane. And if it's true, Tony Busby will never work in this town ever again. Okay? The world needs more baristas. But he will never be able to work as a lawyer ever again if these claims are true. Do you understand that? This is bad. But hold on.
Recognizable stars.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him.
With Jay-Z. Busby did.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
One other thing, though, too. I can see Tony Busby or even the Jane Doe saying, I said these things because I was scared. She could literally say that too. These guys show up to my front door, to the front stoop of my home, start asking me questions. I'm scared out my mind. So I'm going to say whatever I can and whatever I need to say so that these guys get off my front porch. That's possible too. Just something to think about.
ABC News exclusively obtained a minute-long excerpt of the recording made
Unbelievable.
days after the woman identified as Jane Doe permanently dropped her lawsuit against both Carter and Combs last month.
The people around Mr. Carter
Insane.
wanted to know what happened behind closed doors. And so they asked for her to be interviewed. The interview occurred, and the tape speaks for itself. She says, in no uncertain terms, Mr. Carter did not do this. It is effectively a lie. And the only reason Mr. Carter is even involved in this is because she was pushed to involve him, pushed to include him by a lawyer.
Now, some people will say that she was pushed to say this too. She was pushed to say this on recordings, that she was scared out of her mind and she was saying whatever she needed to say to get these guys off her front stoop. The other thing, though, too, is she may not have realized this too, that she could have easily said, get off my lawn. Real talk. Straight up. Clint Eastwood, Gran Torino, get off my lawn. She could have done that. She really could have. She didn't have to entertain these private investigators. She could have easily said, thank you so much. Bye. I have nothing to say to you. Bye. Get off my lawn or I'm calling police. Real talk. She could have done that. She could have done that, but she didn't. She still had the interview. So I could see, like I said, see the bouncing back and forth. It's annoying. It's annoying. I hate it. But like I said, you could see it, right? It's like, but then she could have done that. She had other choices, but she still had that conversation with the private investigators, and she didn't need to give them anything. She didn't need to tell them a damn thing. She was not legally obligated to say anything to these private investigators, yet she willingly gave that stuff up. Why? Why? That's something Tony Busby is going to have to answer that.
The accuser's lawyer, Tony Busby, called it a blatant lie that he pushed Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z, and he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
Hold on. What? Whoa! Oh my God. See what I'm saying? This continues getting thicker and thicker than a snorkel. Like, this is insane. Are you serious? Are you serious? See what I'm saying? So now you got client versus lawyer versus client. Do you see what's going on here? Because now he's like, no, that's a blatant lie. And here's a recording of our conversation, by the way, so you can see it for yourself, baby. I am not lying. I would never do anything like that. This woman lied. See what I'm saying? Bianca, exactly. Ooh, Oh, here's another record. Stop it. See what I'm saying? Watch him record every conversation he has with every client from this point on. Watch, because this is insane, right? Client saying that the lawyer is the one that made her do it, throwing Jay-Z in, and then now the lawyer is sitting there going, no, I never said any of that. But you see that now we're seeing, if we're erring on the side of she's been lying, we're seeing the pathological lying side unravel even more. Because now you got Tony Busby going against his own doggone client, which, by the way, that's not good. That's not good. No. That's a really bad look for Tony Busby. It's a really bad look for Tony Busby. Do you understand? This is a really, really bad look for Tony Busby. It's not good. Sorry. But let's see.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. I don't. I've never said that.
Okay. They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Oh my God. Are you serious? I got to roll that back. We got to roll that beautiful bean footage back. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Bruh. See? See? Everybody? See? Lying. Pathological lying. This is bad. Oh, this is bad. And it's aggravating because let's keep it a bean. All the victims that are out there that have been brave enough to step forward. All of them. This is what aggravates me. I'm sorry for the left turn, but real talk, it's like all the people that have stepped forward, that have had the guts to step forward and fight for some sort of justice against Diddy right now, everyone going to get the side eye now. Everyone. Ain't that about to shut your mouth? Then the other thing too is this also shows that this woman is lying. He recorded that conversation with her. Okay? And she still said, unless somebody just said this is rigged, unless and only unless he took no, and he just recorded something and he just doctored it up. He edited it and, cut it and spliced it and made it sound like she's just a full-on blatant liar. But remember, this is somebody he was representing, and now he's throwing that particular client, former client that he had, he is throwing her under the doggone bus. In fact, he threw her under the bus and then backed the bus back up, stopped it after gung, 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 and then he hit reverse and went beep, beep, gung, 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 beep, beep, again. Just to make sure everyone knows that he's not lying and she is. That is insane. So now, right now, we're not even done with this clip yet, diggity damn. But now, when you look back at the information that we've gotten so all this time, and you see even him himself is now throwing his own client under the doggone bus. What say you now? Do you believe her or no?
The accuser's lawyer, Tony Busby, called it a blatant lie that he pushed Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z. And he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
That's insane.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. I don't. I've never said that.
That's a lie.
Okay. They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Jane Doe said in a court filing, although I ultimately chose not to pursue them, I stand by my claims. She says in a sworn declaration that she felt intimidated and terrified at being confronted by these two individuals on my doorstep. Was she coerced in any way?
Of course not. They did not coerce her, promise or threaten her in any way, shape, or form. She voluntarily met and spoke to them, and she told them her truth.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, Wicked NC. This is Nuck and Futz. Okay. This is some wild ish, y'all. I'm sorry. This is a lot to process, because on some real stuff, the lawyer's throwing her under the bus. She is trying to throw him under the bus during during that conversation with the private investigators. Also, if these things are true and they're not doctored in some sort of way, or it's not AI out here, this is what's even more insane, is that she's lying. Like, now, see, this is the problem. If this person is a pathological liar, you never really truly know what is true and what's not. That's what's so frustrating about it. So with her talking to them, is she telling the truth or is she lying? When she's talking to Tony Busby, he's like, yeah, I understand that you said this, this, and this. And she's like, no, right? She's getting caught right there, red-handed. Unfortunately, we don't want her to be caught lying. We want truth, right? But this doesn't help her claims. This does not help her cause. When she says, I'm standing by my truth, I'm standing by what's going on, and so on. But then you're saying one thing over here and you're saying something completely different to your own lawyer, the person who's supposed to be up fighting for you, going 10 toes down for your cause. You're lying to your lawyer instead of just saying, yeah, I did say that because I was scared. She could have easily said that, but she did not say that. She says, no, I did not say those things at all. That's insane. She could have easily said, I was coerced, I was intimidated, they threatened my life and the life of my children. She could have said anything, and she did not. And now you got Spiro up here going like, well, the proof's in the pudding. It's all on the tape. It exonerates Jay-Z. Like I said, this does not help this Jane Doe's cause at all, guys. This is very bad. And very bad, by the way, for Tony Busby. Doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter that he showed a recording basically showing that she's a liar. It shows that he has a terrible, so far, not the greatest track record in vetting his clients, it looks like now. At least optically, right?
Which was, under no circumstances did Mr. Carter do this. And number two, the only reason he's even involved in this is she was pushed to introduce him by a lawyer.
Does your client know Jane Doe?
No.
Just like he doesn't know Diddy. Sorry, that's something I'll never forget. They're not friends. He doesn't know him like that.
Ever met her?
No, Mr. Carter doesn't know Jane Doe, never met Jane Doe. There's no truth to any of this.
Hey, I'm a ding dong. Sorry, guys. It's the music stuff.
With more than 140 million albums sold, Jay-Z is also husband to Beyonce.
I said shamalama ding dong. What the hell's wrong with me?
And a father of three.
Like we from Lagos, man.
Shush. Come on.
The allegations at the outset, he spoke about the painful impact that they had, especially on his kids. How as a father, has he tried to handle this?
It's tough to hear a false lie said about you, spread through the internet and affecting your children. It's tough on him. It's tough on anybody. But what he does is he proves himself innocent. Today is hopefully the final chapter in that, and then they're going to move forward. That's what Jay does.
Jay-Z is now suing Jane Doe and her lawyer for defamation. Why not let it lie? The case is gone.
The truth had to fully come out. This person cannot be allowed to sort of hide from the reality that this was a false accusation.
You know, I am kind of curious about your thoughts on this, fam. Do you think that Jay-Z should just drop it and keep it moving? Or should he keep going forward with this defamation lawsuit? Because in a way, to me, this is very telling. This is yeah, I really did say shamalama ding dong. But I'm curious because these two recordings, if they weren't changed, doctored, manipulated in any kind of way, it's all real time, right? It's all in real time, no editing whatsoever. Then these are very telling recordings. And real talk, if it all looks like it leans towards Jay-Z being an innocent guy. Sure, it says that he was there, but it does not say that he was involved in any acts of violence or any acts of crime. Okay? No criminal acts. So again, just on the recordings alone, I feel like it should be like, yo, it's done. Right? He's been exonerated. Let's move the F on. Okay, congratulations, Jay-Z. You didn't do it. Now we now know. But one thing is for sure, like I said earlier, I can see why he's going to step forward and continue with the defamation lawsuit, because shame on that person for coming out with the fake lies. Again, if these allegations are not real, shame on that person for putting out false allegations out there. In fact, if you notice, there really aren't any, you don't get reprimanded, right? There's no criminal charges for someone stepping forward and saying, yeah, this person SA'd me. Have you noticed that? We don't see those things. Yeah, they become kind of like a social pariah out here in these streets. No one wants to mess with them. And a finger's wagged in their face. Okay. A proverbial finger's wagged in their face. But do they get criminal charges for a false allegation? No. They just go off and live their life, right? Live the rest of their life, probably hanging their head in shame, but that's about it, right? So for Jay-Z, what's sad about this, like I said earlier, is that it's almost like he's got the scarlet letter branded to his forehead. And there's no way that it's going to be taken down or taken off, because no matter what, there will always be somebody out there that believes that he is a bad guy, that he's done something bad. Let's not forget. Remember all the stuff that came out. We talked about it here too. The illegitimate son to all like things that he allegedly did in the past, violent past and all that stuff. All that stuff started on Earth, and everyone was pointing their finger at Jay-Z, in that very, very bad way, right? So now you have this stuck on his body. What do you do? Do you just let that go? Do you just let it be? Or do you sit there and say, nope, I'm going to make an example out of this person? And you also got to remember, see, this is exactly what Diddy should have done with Cassie. Hear me out. If Diddy didn't do it, hear me out. Jay-Z got that stupid long game money. He got money. He got so much money. It's what Wolf of Wall Street used to call money, fun coupons. He's got enough money that he could just throw money anywhere he wants, because it's just fun coupons at this point. Okay? He got that long game money. He could put that Jane Doe and even Tony Busby in court and bleed them dry financially for years. He could do that. Same thing with Diddy. Diddy could have done that. But did he do it? Well, he did do it. But did he do it? No, he did not. He just sat back and let all that stuff come out because he thought she didn't have nothing. Lawsuit came out. whole life was destroyed. Settled the very next day. If he really was innocent, he would have sat there and said, let's go. You know what I mean? He would have easily said, okay, let's go. You want to go? I got money. We could do this all day. I could do this all day for 20 years straight. Go ahead. Try to take $1 from my pocket. Jay-Z's doing exactly that now. Why? Because Jay-Z believes that he is innocent. That is kind of the moves of somebody either who has financial privilege or someone who is innocent that has financial privilege. However you see it, that's exactly what he's doing. And now you're seeing proof positive through private investigators that this particular Jane Doe is not telling the truth. She's a bad liar from what we've seen. At least what is being concocted and put and displayed right in front of all of us. So much that her own former counsel, her own lawyer, Tony Busby, puts out a recording showing, hey, she's the liar, not me. You want to know why? Because he's saving his own tuchus, guys. He is saving his own boo-hootie. He is most definitely doing that. Why? Because if he's found out that he's out here saying, yeah, I need you to throw Jay-Z in there, he can lose his whole career, guys. He could lose his whole mother-loving career. Imagine that. Just because he said, hey, throw in Jay-Z real quick. Why not? You want to make some money? Come on. You want to make some extra money? I love money, don't you? Go ahead and just throw in a little extra money in there. You know what I mean? Throw Jay-Z in the name, in the list of names. We don't need the celebrity, female celebrity B, but we'll just put that in there, because as soon as Jay-Z hears his name, he's going to freak out and he's going to be like, what? I will cut you a check right now. Say less, girl. What you need? How do you spell that last name real quick? Is that with one I or two? Okay. You see what I'm saying? If Tony Busby was to do something like that, his career would be over. Absolutely over. And then he'd be in and out of court due to lawsuits coming from Jay-Z. Jay-Z would milk him dry. Absolutely. But then here's the other thing too. This is also very important. On the other side of the fence, Alex Spiro. Alex Spiro better not be dropping the ball or messing around or have done anything illegal to obtain any of that information. Because if he did, he could lose his license. He could lose his ability to do what he clearly is good at doing. Okay, he's the one who helped with Alec Baldwin's case. All right, he was the lead attorney for that situation. That was insane, right? That whole case and that trial was insane. So clearly he loves what he does and he's good at what he does. So he wouldn't want to lose his job too. So that's why Tony Busby turned on his own client. But I'm sure at this point he has learned something. Or at least I would assume he has learned something, Tony Busby, which is make sure your client is 110% properly vetted. That they go through a vetting process before you do anything. In fact, I'm trying to see. Let me see. Hold on. Tony. I'm just seeing if he said anything in the any statements here, because as of late, I mean. Nope. He's just congratulating people on his, yeah, he's not saying anything. All right. But still, no matter what, guys, this is some serious stuff. Okay. I've never seen this. I've never seen a display like this ever in my life. But of course, for those of y'all who believe that he did this, what say you? Do you believe this? Do you still believe that she's a victim of Jay-Z? Most importantly, of Jay-Z, or do you think that she hasn't been telling the truth at all? What say you? This is going to be a tough one, guys, because like I said, it's crazy. Hold on. Ebony Queen, I take notice of the fact that Jay has not publicly addressed the John Doe allegations. That's a very interesting one too. Maybe he's knocking them down one at a time. Maybe he's just focused on this one because it was the first one and it was massive, right? And maybe he's like one thing at a time. I'm going with this one, and then I'm going to go after the next one. Maybe that's what it is. But like I said, I'm not Jay-Z. I'm not in his mind. I am not in his counsel. I don't know, right? Aurora said, yes, she was threatened. Was she threatened or not? But then also, if she was threatened, why wouldn't she just say that to Tony Busby in the conversation if that recording is 110% true? Remember, it could be, it could be a fabrication. It could be edited. And I'm not saying he would do anything like that, but you never know in this world. We live in a wild world. Okay. So again, if she was threatened, why wouldn't she just say, no, I did say that, but I was scared. They scared me. They threatened me. I was coerced, whatever. I was harassed. She didn't say any of that, guys. She didn't. In none of the recordings. That would have been the perfect opportunity to say that. In fact, she could have called back the next day and said, listen, I was threatened. I just want you to know I was threatened. I was scared. I was threatened. I'm sorry, but I was threatened. And I felt intimidated. They were showing up at my front door. I didn't know what to say. I just wanted them out of my face and off my lawn. That's possible, right? But she didn't do that. So again, yes, Pam, I agree. This is a mess. I'm not sure what to believe. Yep, it's an absolute mess. And now you have Tony Busby, like I said, going against his own client, and that says a lot too. However you see it, it says a lot. Either it was a plan between the two of them, and it went haywire, and he jumped ship and said, no, she's the liar. Here's recording so you can see for yourself that she's lying. Right? My name's Bennett. I ain't in it. I didn't do nothing of that sort because I still want to be able to continue being a lawyer. I don't want to lose my job. Are you kidding me? That's possible. Or she just went rogue, made up all this stuff, lied, and that's it. That's possible too. But like I said, this is a tough one. Okay. Arya, I believe that the investigators for Jay-Z doctored their tape. I honestly do. Interesting. I got to hit the button for that. That's wild. The doctored tape. Like I said, I would want, hopefully they take out or they put out the full recording here soon. Because once the full recording comes out, then we can see it for ourselves, right? Then we can see, okay, they did that. You know what I mean? They definitely were involved, or they doctored that. I want to see, right? And I agree with that too, Ebony. I think that it really aggravates me because of how there's so many rabbit holes and how there are no definitive answers to this situation. It's so murky, you can't see nothing. So again, it's kind of like you get to the point where you just throw up your hands like, F it, man. I got nothing. I'm done. Like, this is too complicated. Now it's turned into, Chinese algebra. Like, I'm done. Okay. Chinese math. I'm done. I don't even know which way. I don't even know which end is up at this point. And that's what's so sad about this too. Because it could very well be a person who has mental health issues that was indeed a victim and maybe has their facts all messed up. Maybe they have their facts all wrong. That's still a possibility, guys. That really is. Because mental health is definitely a factor in this. Could it be a factor in the truth or the factor in the fact that all this is a lie? You see what I'm saying? And that's what's so frustrating about this too. Okay. Of course they do that. That's what editing, that's what they do, right? They chop up the interview because why would Busby throw his own client under the bus? So again, okay, let me ask you this, Mel, and it's a good question. It most definitely is. Why would he throw his client under the bus? I mean, I feel like the knee-jerk reaction is because he doesn't want to lose his doggone job, right? Because as soon as he says, oh, yeah, what if he did? What if he was to admit, yeah, I did that. I told her to throw in Jay-Z. His job is over. His career, everything that he knows as a lawyer is completely bupkis, gone, nuked, because of him telling his client to throw Jay-Z into the thing so that they can extort that guy for millions of dollars. He would lose his job, okay? Period. So he has no other choice but to exonerate himself because those allegations are very serious, right? So again, he has no choice but to be like, I have recording of me talking to her and asking her about this, and she's saying that she never said those things, showing that there's a history of lying here, right? To me, it's a very blatant, very straightforward reason why he would give the information out there. Because at that point, it was if he did not put out the recording, it would just be a he said, she said situation. And that would be bad. But he's like, no, I got recording. Here it is. Because I'm not about to be that guy. You're not going to look at me and no, I'm not associated to this, right? Then, of course, the ABC interview is definitely chopped up because, I mean, it's under 4 minutes, and I'm sure the conversation was much longer than that, right? But I don't think that they manipulated anything to go with some sort of narrative. I think that they hit up Tony Busby. Tony Busby said, wait a second, what? That's a blatant lie. The hell are you talking about? That's a blatant lie. In fact, because now my whole reputation is on the line and my career is on the line. The fact that she's saying that, no, she's saying what? Okay, hold up. I'm sending you the interview, the conversation I had recorded on the phone with her, and you can take out that part for yourself. You can hear it for yourself. Exactly her lying to me then, I guess, about the conversation that she had, saying that I was the one bringing up Jay-Z. He had no other choice between a rock and a hard place. And he's not representing her anymore. So he has no other choice but to be like, well, my whole reputation's on the line. She painted me into this corner. I have no other choice but to show my proof. And here it is, right? So again, from her lying, this is what it caused. Okay? From her potentially, let's just say, lying. But that's clearly a lie. You put those two together, it's clearly a lie. She's clearly lying, guys. And that's what's so sad about this, you know? But Debbie even said this too, and I agree. I am team truth. Okay? I agree with that as well. Okay? I just want the truth. But she says Jay-Z was there, but he didn't do anything. Jay-Z was there, but he didn't do anything. So she's still claiming that an attack happened to her by Diddy, but not Jay-Z. Pretty wild stuff, guys. You can't make this stuff up. You really, really can't. But I mean, of course, we're going to find out more information here, I'm sure. Because you think just by one simple audio tape, Tony Busby's completely exonerated? Hell no, he's not. Same thing with this Jane Doe, because you know for a fact she's still going to be out here saying that what happened to her is true. She's still going to say that. She's still going to have those claims. So it's going to be a matter of investigation and all that to really get the truth. We'll see. But will it be enough for Jay-Z? Even this defamation lawsuit, money that he doesn't even need, really, okay, against this Jane Doe, who clearly won't even be able to pay for the money if she was found to be liable of defamation. This is going to be interesting, guys. Like I said, as the world turns. Anyway, guys, that's the show. But don't worry, we're going to keep an eye on the whole situation. Trust me, we're going to find out what's going on soon enough. But this is very interesting, just to be completely real. Very, very interesting. But as it continues to grow, as more information drops like it's hot, we'll be talking. Trust and believe. Okay? It's just sad because this is not what it should be. This is what it should not be like for any victim out there. Real talk. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. But unfortunately, this is what is going on right now. So anyway, guys, if you can do me a favor, hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Hit that reaction button before you head out. Hit that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. Crush that subscribe button here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Crush that subscribe button over there. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because a lot of times it's breaking or random time, okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Go check it out. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. We got more stuff to talk about. Go check out my most recent update in regards to Kunaki's whole investigation. There's a person of interest that has been announced now. Go check it out. It's on this channel, so go check it out. Okay, guys? But anyway, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. I appreciate it. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Be good to one another. To one another. To one another. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.